Hello, all of you partners, Erasmus Plus partners. This is Thomas from Denmark calling you. In the preparation of our project meeting in Sicily, I have decided not to write a very, very long letter for you. I've decided to make a PowerPoint where I try to explain what I think we should do in Sicily. But first of all, I want to thank Ilaria to host us. I'm very much looking forward to go to Sicily. I've never been there before, and I'm also looking forward to see you. During this presentation, I will go through what I think our project is all about and what we need to do, but I'll start right away now. As you maybe know, or you probably already know, this is a Erasmus Erasmus Plus Key A2 action project, and it means that basically it's a cooperation of innovation and exchange of good practice. That's what this is called. And the sub project part is called Strategic Partnerships for Schools Only. So this is the area where we are trying to get our money. And you can see here on the slide that the Danish NA last year they gave 1.8 million euro in this section, and we are in this project asking for around 200,000. So it's quite a bit. So we have to be precise in our descriptions. If we should have more than 10% of what the Danish NA are actually giving. We are these 7 schools: Norway, Netherlands, Turkey, Italy, Spain, Germany and Denmark. And we are trying to make a project for these 3 years starting next September. So if we have our project and look at it, and we have to focus on the main ideas. Our main ideas is this. I put it into this little model here. We are looking at a model of the society, and when we look at societies, we can put it into 3 different areas. We have the political areas where we are voters or politicians. We have the market area where we produce something or we are customers. And then we have the last one, the civil, where we are just civil citizens helping each other in some kind of a volunteering way. This project has the civil society as its focus, and the main idea is that this area is threatened in different areas, and that's one aspect. We want to increase the civil society and the connection between school and civil society. But the other level is what is very, very good explained by Bart in the application last year, that we are going from a unicultural to a multicultural civil society in most parts of Europe and probably also in Turkey in time. So this is the main idea. How do we provide a better civil society going from unicultural to multicultural? That's the main idea in the project. So we put it into different levels, and this is a thing that we have to be very, very focused on in this time. We have to develop school strategies. That's the main idea of the project. We don't have to think as much as on the students, but we have to think about the schools. And I've tried to put it this way, that we have to develop school strategies according interaction with local, national and international civil society and NGOs in the future of this multicultural coexistence. This we must never forget. This is our main goal. Also, we need on a teacher's level, we need to develop learning tools so the teachers, they can actually do these things like social entrepreneurship. And at the very end, the students level, we want to make sustainable structures in the schools so we can have a future generation of multicultural citizens. But these levels are from the top, the school, the teachers and the students. So if we see the timeline against the final application, we have now December. I'm trying to make the overview. In January, we are meeting in Sicily and rewriting the application. In February, we get some external response. I found a guy that we can use. He has been responding to the former application, and we do the final writing. And then in the March, we do the mandates, and the final deadline for the application is 31st of March 2016. So this is actually the timeline. But if we look to what we are achieving, we are looking for the 100 points. Every application is looked upon by 2 or 3 external people who are familiar with these kind of projects, and they have like 100 points to give to all the applications. So it's divided into 4 sections. It's called relevance, of course, 30 points. Quality of design, project design, 20. Quality of cooperation design, 20. And dissemination impact, 30. And just to compare, where are we? The first application in 2014 got 74 points. That was the first year with Erasmus, and we did like that. Last year, Bart and Lisbeth from Netherlands, they improved it, and they got closer to 82 points, and in Denmark we needed 85.1. So we actually think we are very close. But I can also tell you at this moment, this is the last time the Danes, they want to do it. This is the third and final time we want to try this, but we want it very, very much. So we put a lot of effort into succeed this year. So I've tried. We have 2 responses on the application from last year, and the one we gave from the NA, and then I've been using a guy, Jakob, I've met in a seminar. He's working with these applications every day. So he had read it, and he has put his response to the project too. So I put it together and tried to look where in these 4 areas have we got some kind of response. So at the relevance area, the 30 points, it said that it was a very good proposal, and it's belonging to the 2020 goals, and that's very, very good. And the second one I'm very happy about, that the project makes a good sense in a multicultural context. I will thank Bart for that, because he's described it so well last year. Because you could argue that this project could be done in all the 7 countries separated and not using the Erasmus context, but this is good. So we need to improve a few things in this area, relevance. We have to remember to put into the project design that there are actually newcomers to the project. It means that the 6 former Comenius partners, they actually have invited another, the 7th partner, Ilaria and her school. I think they missed it this time to see it, but we have to point it out. And the 2 in below I've put into white. It means when we come to something white, I think it's important. The main thing about this is that we have to be much, much more clear about the school strategy. Why are the schools actually wanting to go into this project? Why are the schools, which kind of strategy do the schools have according to working with civil society? So this has to be described very, very much more than in before. The project design, well, it's clear and high relevant, it's said, and there are a few things that we can work with. The themes, they should put up to the school strategies, yes, and we have to put more into the preparation phase. You can look it through. There are several things that we can improve in the project design. According to the cooperation, there are things also we can look at. And the same thing about the dissemination. I think this part is were very important for us. The first one and the second one is very important. The first one and this one, the dissemination part, is very important, and we have to look very, very carefully into this area when we rewrite the application. So if I should put all this together, you can just stop the. You can stop the. If you want to read it very carefully, then you can stop the presentation and read it. But if I go on, I put it together like this. We have to, in my mind, during the 3 years, we've gone from a Comenius thinking to Erasmus thinking, and we are still not there. The Comenius thinking is basically the focus point are the students, and the Erasmus focus point is not the students in the first place, it's the organizations. We have to realize that they have put a lot of more money into the Erasmus project than into the Comenius project, but they want the projects to be more school projects, more sustainable projects that will be in the school strategy afterwards. So this is so, I cannot say this enough, it's so important that we put this whole project into the eyes of a school and not into the eyes of a student. So everybody has got to go back to their own school and find out why are they joining this project, especially this project. But we'll come back to that. So if we take the application, you can see here I've taken the main lines. It's divided into sections from section A to section O, and when this is done, you can see we are finished. We are finished. The new application for 2016 just arrived 2 days ago. That's why I've been waiting for it. So you'll get to see if there were any change. But there are a few changes from the application form from last year, but I'll come back to that. But I've put it into this and see what do we need to do. Something is just checkups and some are works. You can see section D, E, F, and G and H are 5 groups that's actually where our work is laying. There are some checkups and then something is okay already. So let's look. Put an overview of, you can see here the sections A, B, C, D, E, and so on. And the first ones are actually quite easy. There are some things I want us to check. The subtitles of the project, small thing, and some of the priorities we have to comment. And then section D is actually quite important. Section D 1-2 is the Danish school. Section D 2-2 is some of the other schools. And here, every school has to add a strategy, a need, a goal for joining, especially this project. This is a very, very important part that every school is going back and doing this. But then section E is quite important in describing the project, and I have an overview. I can see now that Spain and Turkey, they need to find external partners so they can put into the application who will join this project and why. But if we go further on in section E, one of the things we have to see discuss is the 7 meetings. We have like a line or a frame. We have this line of family, youth life, civil, social difference, and inclusion, exclusion, migration, livability in a residential environment, and then the International Youth Conference. That's actually the main themes of the 7 meetings. But we have to look at it. Are they still the ones we want? And I have got a proposal from Norway that we should look more of the migration problems we have in Europe at the moment. According to what can civil society do to improve life when there are migration. But we can get back to that. We have to discuss that in the meeting. One thing we also have to look upon is how we we have described it in the Appendix A, like work packages. That's actually the paper where we are trying to describe the content of the project, how we want to do it, and we put it into this frame of a work package. And there are several of them that we have to look upon again. Some are easy, some are like work package 5, the blueprint. We have to describe it more precisely. What does that actually mean? But we will, and then one thing more that's different from last year is that we have been working with what we call intellectual output. It's three what we call folders, things that we want to publish, and intellectual output is no longer in the application for Erasmus Plus. It might be in other kind of projects, but not in Erasmus Plus Key Action 2. So, what we also want to have a look upon is we have like a main structure, a main frame, you can call it, and a project meeting. When we meet, we have 7 meetings, and we have this timeline. Like 2 months before, there's going to be a blueprint. 2 months before, we are working with the theme in the schools, and the last Houghton School is going to make a report about the implementation of the results from the last meeting, and then we have a frame of the actual meeting. We need response, we need presentations of the 7 new challenges according to the new theme. We have to, well, maybe I should explain that to you, Larry, if you haven't got the idea, that every meeting we come with the challenge from our local civil society according to the theme. So if we have like migration in Denmark, we find a local NGO that works with that, and then we ask them, do we have a real problem? And we describe it and come to the next meeting and present it. Okay. Also, we need to visit. We need to visit a local NGO during the meeting. And then we have what is actually the main thing. If we meet, we have the entrepreneurial workflow in international groups, and then we are evaluating it and have teachers meeting. That's the basic frame of a meeting. So we have to discuss if they're still okay. I still think it is okay, but there could be small changes. We're still in section E, as you can see. This is a very long and big chapter in the application that we have to work with, and there are some descriptions of our partners. Why are they involved, and what should they achieve from it? So we go to the next one, preparation F. There are small changes we could do, like taking care of who is in charge of the budget in our school, and I've been advised just to say it's the bookkeeper. But section G and H are very important. I haven't pointed out what to do. I want to discuss it with you, but it is the implementation of the results and the follow-ups. This is a part that we have tried to do very well, but it's not enough. We have to put more effort into try to explain that if the school has a strategy according to this area, the area of working with the civil society and a multicultural civil society, we have to describe more how this is going to be implemented in the local areas, in the schools, in the school strategies, and how we're going to measure the follow-ups. This is a very big task in this application. Then we have the last part. It's not very much. We have a budget. I think it's okay for now. The budget is connected to the travels. Maybe we change a little bit here and there. That should be changed in the project summary. It's just a short text that sums everything up. Used for, I think it's going to be used for Erasmus homepage or something like that. And K and L is nothing, just checklist. And M is important. The declaration of honor that we'll do in the end is all schools must sign it. School headmasters must sign this one to declare that they want to join the project, and then I'll put annexes and the submit in the end. So if we see the project meeting, we go back and we are now in Sicily. I decided not to make a very straight timeline for the 2 days. I just want to make you see what I want us to consider when we are there. So I put it into one and see Monday and Tuesday in one. So first of all, of course, we have to understand what the main goals are. We have to have the overview of the project and what our work is, and I'm trying to prepare you for this by this presentation. But then I think that we have something that we should discuss in common, and I've put in the first place 4 things I want to discuss with you. The first thing is that we have to be sure to understand what it means to go from Comenius to Erasmus Plus. By that, going from the student's point of view into the school's point of view by making strategies. And then I also think that, as I mentioned before, that we should discuss the 7 themes in the 7 meetings, and we should discuss the main frames of the project meetings as described before. And then, in the end, the implementation, follow-up, and sustainability of the project, we should also think of that all together. So we have like a main thinking about these things. But then I also think that it would be nice, for me especially, but I also think that we are in Sicily to do this, that we actually are working directly into the application. And in my mind, I think that one group, we will be like 4 or 5, depending on Astra's back, if she's well enough to join us, but we'll be 4 or 5. So, so I think that one group should take care of chapter E and F. And that's the whole area of description of the project and the preparation. I call that a big task. And one group should take care of G and H, that's the implementation of follow-up plans. That's also a big task. And then I put also 3 more small tasks, I call them. If we don't reach them at the meeting, I will do it afterwards. But it would be nice that we could go home and actually are almost finished writing in the application. So the small task would be context and priorities and school strategies and project summary in the end. But in the very end, I will not make it a timeline for the days. I think that we can find out when we are there. Of course, we start in the common and discuss, but we will make group time, and then we will make feedback time from the other group, and we will work between groups and common discussions. But I know that Hilarious wants to show us something of Italy, and I think that we should take that invitation, because I've been there. I would very much like to see something. So I hope that this presentation has given you a little bit of information about what our tasks are, and I'm very, very much looking forward to see everybody in Sicily. And if you have questions before that I can answer before, please write to me. And then we'll all see on Sunday in the middle of January. And I hope that we will have a very, very nice and efficient and cozy time in Sicily. See you there.